Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. You'll have to excuse my voice. I've been sick lately. Had some kind of virus, some kind of allergy thing. Don't really know what's been going on, but it's affected me for almost 2 months now. But as you can see, we are finally back on Atlas. But we're not on the official Gorgon's Gaze server anymore. I had to make a hard decision. We were over on the server and it was getting to be just a little too much to keep up with, from having to log on every day or two to keep the animals fed, keep the boats from decaying, going into certain regions and the lag being so bad by the time the game caught up, the ship would be up in somebody's base, just numbers going off everywhere and the ship decaying. So I decided that I wanted to keep the series going, but I wanted to take it a little different direction. Over there we were on a quest to visit every island, be the documented first person to visit every island on camera, and it was going well up until the game started getting populated and it was just too much lag on some of the islands. You just couldn't get close to them. That one in A5 that Callie had such an issue with, where you got the Minuteman with the holding the lantern, you couldn't even get on that island, much less go explore it any. So we're back on M5. This is the Whispering Island. You can see up there in the right hand corner. This is where we had our base. Way down on the other end, down that direction, is where we had our main base over on the official server. But honestly, I think this is going to work better for me. I've looked back. Most of the videos that I've done that you guys have really responded to have been tutorials, taming tutorials, different things. And I believe by doing this, it will allow me to bring better content out. Plus, it gives me time to actually work with it, because here we're on a single player world, and here when I do this, hit exit the main menu, the game just stops wherever it's at. And when I log back in, I'm right back to where I started. If I'm taming an animal, I tested it with the pig here. If I'm taming an animal and I log out of the game, when I come back in, the taming is still there. So for me, it's going to fit in much better. I am going to miss playing over there. However, most of the company members, almost all of the company members, had moved on to other games and different things, and real life stuff had gotten away. And Callie is still over there. I believe she's still playing. I turned the company over to her, but she had been logging on, keeping all the animals fed, keeping the ships up. And a big shout out to Callie for doing that. She was awesome. She's a great player, great builder. But for me, it was too much trying to go from island to island and deal with all the lag, deal with having to log in at least every day, and I couldn't do it. Last couple months we've been in the refuel outage, and it was hard for me to even get on during the day. When I got home from work, all I want to do is eat dinner and go to bed. Those 12-hour days, 6 days a week, just wear on you. Plus, being sick hasn't helped much at all. So I'm hoping this right here is going to help you guys. What I'm going to start doing with this series is, we're on the Whispering Isle, so I'm going to show you where all the major resources are. Of course, where wood and thatch, you get that from the trees. You get fiber from getting all the plants on the ground, of course rock. But I'm going to show you where the metal nodes are, if there's any sugars or saps. This thing right here that you've probably already seen. Let me back out here. So on this island there are actually gemstones, but they are up on the top of this pillar. And I personally, if you guys watching this video and you know how to get up there without doing something crazy like I built, maybe you could get up on top of one of these and use a glide suit. But I don't know if you can gain altitude with a glide suit. I haven't really tried it yet. You can't really use a grapple hook to get up here. I tried that. There was no good area to get a grapple hook. But so from the Whispering Island, and I'll show you where we're at here. Right here. So the Whispering Island, if you look where we're at there, right there is our dock and our boats. This pillar right here On top of there is the gemstones, and there was a pirate encampment here. That's another thing that's different. On the single player, let me go back to that. No, can't see it there. Go back to that and zoom out. On the single player, you can see where you got these red pirates, and I'm pretty sure it's on every island, except for your free ports, of course. But on every island, there's at least one pirate encampment. I want to say the Whispering Isle here has got 3 pirate encampments. There's one right across the water there, and I want to say there's one on the other end of the island somewhere. But that'll bring a new part of the game, something that you won't get over on official, but on single player, if you want to go into single player, the Atlas, let me show you that too. You guys probably already know this, but the Atlas itself is the exact same as it is over on official. You've got A1 through O15. All the islands are the same. The setup's the same. The resources are in the same spot. But what I found out, like I said, was the biggest response to my videos were either tutorials or showing somebody how to actually do something in the game to make the gameplay easier. And I want to say this is wheat. Is this wheat? I probably need an animal to harvest that with. Anyway, this was one of the pirate encampments that was right around the corner from us, and I was trying to gather resources, and these guys would start shooting at us like dummies. So I brought the pig over here and killed him, and I gotta say it wasn't easy taking out this pirate encampment. I have some of the settings. I have some of the settings turned up to make things a little easier as far as gathering resources and stuff, but to even it out, I set up some of the other criteria or settings for the animals, you know, so they hit a little harder, they a little higher levels. So I don't want to spend a lot of time grinding for resources, because like I say, this series is not about me showing you how to grind for resources. Everybody knows how to grind for resources. This series is supposed to be me showing you discovery points and showing you where the resources are. So I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to get into it. So starting back with where the gemstones are on this island. This pillar here is pretty noticeable. Some people can get it confused with that one, but this one is right up in the big cove. So this is the big cove just around, and the cove goes all the way through there. The little one's right there, and again, it is, so if you're looking at the Whispering Island, it is that pillar right there. And again, I'm sure there's probably an easier way to get up there, but I couldn't figure it out. I'm not an expert at this game by any means. This is just me trying to help you guys out. So what I did is I built the contraption like this, and you have to climb all the way up to the top. See you guys when we get up there. And we're up to the top. So that's quite a climb. As you can see, even with a time lapse, it still took a while. So what I did is I built it up as far as it could go. I tried to go on up with pillars, but it wouldn't let me, so it was too far off the ground. But I put a cliff platform here. I built off the side of the cliff platform with some ladders. Then I actually used a grapple hook to get up, and you can use a grapple hook to get up from here. Not walk off the side. So you can use a grapple hook to get up from here. But once I got up there, I decided I didn't want to have to grapple hook up every time. So I built a couple of foundations on the edge of the cliff, put a couple of ceilings hanging off of that with a trapdoor, put some more ladders down, and now I can go all the way up. Even though it's a long trip up here, I can go all the way up right to the very top. Now over on official, what I suggest doing and what I had done is once I got up here, I found an area like this. I put down 4 foundations. I put me a smithy up here, put me down a storage box. I brought some extra pickaxes up here, an extra axe or 2, and an extra scythe, so you could come up here and get resources if you ever needed them. But what I would do is I would come up here and I would mine as much gemstones as I could. In this case, rubies. I would mine rubies and I would store them in the storage box. And once I had mined all the rubies out, and I'll show you how I did this on official. I put a bed down. Once you get that bed down, I put a bed at the bottom so I can travel over, throw all my stuff in a smithy, travel up, get my went too much, and you can see I think I've got my settings turned up way too much. I'm getting way too many resources per. I might have to turn that down some, but it might be okay for now. But I'd put a couple foundations down, I'd put a bed on it, and then down at the bottom I had another bed. See if I can do this without falling off. So way down there somewhere on the rock at the end of that dock, I would have another bed. So I'd have a pickaxe up here and a smithy and stuff to repair the pickaxe with. I'd throw all my stuff in the smithy down there. I'd fast travel from that bed to this bed, which I had named a ruby bed. Get my pickaxe, harvest the rubies, and then I would simply just fall off the side. I would overload myself and then just go fall off the side. Pick up those, and I'm going to show you that here right now because I have a bed down there. I mean, once I had harvested them all, I'd fill up my inventory one last time. Is there anything else I can get rid of? No, there's not. Let's see. Throw that down. Come over here and throw these in the cabinet. Storage box, cabinet, whatever you want to call it. Run back and grab these I just dropped. See how much that's going to overload us. Probably can hit one more node. And I think we're full. So yeah, we're moving slower. So what I would like to do then is, since I had a bed up here, had a bed down below, and I don't know if there's any in-game penalty for doing this. Yeah, I would just jump off, kill myself, splat. Oh, I died. Of course, the only thing I'd have on myself at that point would be the rubies, because I'd put the pickaxe back in the smithy up top, so the pickaxe would still be up there. Then I just respawn, run over, grab the resources out of my body, and there you go. That's the easy way to get the rubies on the Whispering Isle. Throw these in the forge. And you can see in the forge, for some reason I have syrup, but for the silver ingots, that's what's on this island, is silver ingots. We need gems, carotenoid, and silver. I don't know why. I think one of the copper uses saps, and I think copper is the only one that uses saps. Tin, of course, if we had tin, that would be the easiest. You just need thatch and wood. I know we can use the saps for creating, what is this stuff called? Organic paste? Organic paste. So let's go ahead and fire off a few hundred of them. Now, the saps. The saps on this island are very few and far in between. And you'll notice we've got green trees and we've got red trees. Those red trees are scattered all over the island, but in amongst the red trees in certain spots. Oh no, run, cobra, cobra. I forgot about the cobras. I hadn't seen one down on this end of the island since I've been back here. Die, cobra. Of course, that is a good way to get some carotenoid right quick. And gotta admit, that made me jump out of my chair almost, because I wasn't expecting that. But like I say, in amongst the red trees, you've got these trees here that are green, yellow, and red. These green, yellow, and red trees, if you take your pickaxe, that's where you get the syrup from, and the syrup counts as a sap. What are you doing, you dumb ant? Get wrecked. Give me your stuff. So right around the corner from the pillar where the rubies are in amongst these red trees. Provided nobody's built here, you will see there's the second tree, and I want to say there was a third one in here. Maybe not. Maybe there was not a third one in here. So there's 2 trees there, and then right behind you, up on that pillar there, there's a couple of them there, and there's a couple up way up top there. However, these 2 are the easiest to get from the ruby spawn. Now I'm going to run around here, and I'm going to show you going the other way. We could have went around that way, but I want to show you everything from this starting point. So it's kind of the same starting point to go get all of these resources. So from here, again, where we've got our bed down below, and let's drop this syrup off so we don't have a bunch of stuff weighting us down, because that stuff weighs a lot for some reason. Don't need those berries. Don't need those berries. Let's dump a carotenoid. Carotenoid? Carotenoid? I think's how you say that. We'll dump that off in there. So from here, if you want to go left around this pillar, you can go right around the pillar. You just got to make sure you come back out to the cove. That cove goes through there, and this cove actually goes through, but there's rocks right in the middle. I don't think you could get much more than a sloop in there, maybe. I don't even know if you could get a brigantine up in this cove or not. But if you come on around this cove here, you come around the inside of this cove, and this big rock out in the middle, what you're looking for is that big rock out in the middle and them 2 little peaks that form that little V notch right there. Right in front of those peaks, right down at the bottom, you can see there is 2 more of the syrup trees. Okay, this might have been where there was 3 of them. So there's 1 here. Oh, wait a minute. There's more here. I didn't even notice these. There's a lot here, actually. So there's 1 syrup tree. There is 2 syrup trees. And we'll go back the way we were just coming from. 3 syrup trees. There's number 4. Here is number 5. There's a sheep, and here is number 6. So again, provided nobody's built over the spawns, which they shouldn't because they're gonna need syrup too, but those are the syrup trees on this island. So I hope that helps there. So now you know where to get the rubies. Rubies are up there. Now you know where to get the syrup. Let's take this back and drop it off. And like I say, also right up there, I don't know if you can see it from the ground. Is it there or is it there? I'll have to go look. Hold on, let me drop this syrup off and we'll go look. Alright, we've dropped that off. We've dropped that off in our smithy. We're going to head back around this way. Hopefully not run into any more cobras this time. Hopefully if we do, it doesn't scare me out of my chair again. But if you keep coming around this way, you run through basically to the other side where the ocean is. That shelf right up there, we're going to run around to the end where we can get up fairly easily with our grappling hook. Right about here. Looks to be pretty doggone good. Oh, nope, grappling hook. Go up right here, I think. Yep, that should work great. Grappling hook is your friend. So right up here, more sap trees. I'm not even sure how many's up here. There's 1, 2, 3. Didn't hit that one all the way. So 3, 4. I want to say there's just 4 right there on the end. Because I want to say they were just on the end. I don't think I found any when I went further on across. Nope. So that is all that is on this. So from the ruby spawn up there, you can kind of see where I'm talking about. There's our beds and all over there. There's where we found the trees down there. So, and I do want to show you guys this. This is, to me, is a glitch in the game. If you're up on the top of something and you take your grappling hook and you throw it to the ground, by all means, if I grapple to the ground, I should die. But I've done this over on official and it worked also. Boom, you're right on the ground. Somehow you can grapple downwards and not die. I don't know how that works. Now let me get back around here and I will show you where sulfur's pretty prevalent on this island, and the metal nodes on this island are silver. There's not a lot of them, but compared to some islands, there's a few. And let's dump this syrup off. And you can see just out of those trees, we've got a whole bunch. Now, again, starting here from this, and the reason I came here was there's a lot of resources right in reach of this area. This is the only spot on the island where you can get gemstones, get those rubies. But if you come over into the rocks here, up in the bushes, if you kind of stay close to the edge of the rock here, that's not one. Right here, you can see how that looks like. To me, it looks like poop. That's sulfur. Sulfur is a charcoal. It can be used to make gunpowder and different things. And then right behind you here, there's a big rock there. Right behind you here, this is a silver node. And they look a little different from normal rocks. And if you go on around, working, like I say, we're not far from out in the edge here. There's another silver node right here. And that over encumbered us. Let's split that out. All right, let's take this back. Well, let me go on around. So there's another silver node right there. Another silver node. And I want to say there's more sulfur. Yep, there's more sulfur right there. So that's sulfur. That's a regular rock. It will fool you into thinking it's silver sometimes. I'm over encumbered. Let me split that out. Spit that out. Alright, and I want to say that's all the silver nodes that are right around the edge of this cliff here. 3 silver nodes, 2 sulfur nodes maybe. Yep, that's it. So back out to the cove. And I'm going to show you the other 2 places. Nope. Ain't messing with that spider without the pig. Let me go get the pig. Alright, we're going to get on the pig. He's got a level up. He's got a couple of levels up. And you can see these melee damage and stats and all. Don't look at those. I've got everything jacked way up on this single player world, which is one of the advantages of playing on the single player world. Unless you just want to do the grind, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do the grind on official, it's okay. I got a job. I have real life stuff that I have to attend to. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. Maybe one day if I get to be a full-time YouTuber. And get out of here, you stupid spider. Nobody wants to talk to you. Give me your gooey stuff. Give me your gooey stuff. Alright, so Ruby Tower. Around here's where we found the syrup trees, sap trees. And you can see I've got the respawn rates turned way up too because the trees have already respawned. I want to say once upon a time I found a silver node or 2 in here, but I could not find them again today. So I don't know if they were never here and I was mistaken, or if the game updated and changed them out. I'm just not sure, but I couldn't find them again today, so maybe they were just never there. Just keep following the cove around is really all you got to do. Is that a stupid cobra? That is a stupid cobra. Get wrecked, dumb cobra. Give me a snake scales for some carotenoid. Alright, back on the pig. So if you keep coming around here, you'll see this one pillar here in between where those little mountains are and where we just got the syrup trees over there. This is probably the biggest outcropping of silver nodes on this island. There's how many nodes here? That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 silver nodes right there. So they're pretty close still. They're still pretty close down here on this end. But then from there, if you keep coming on around at the bottom, so that's at the bottom of that pillar. If you keep coming on around the bottom of this pillar where it starts kind of a little mountain range, there are more silver nodes right here. There's one, that counts as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 silver nodes right there. So 17 silver nodes right in close proximity there. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go on up the island. So there's our ruby spawn right there in front of us. So I'm going to keep coming around the island this direction. I'll show you where some other stuff is. Okay, we've come on around the cove to the other end of the island. And, well, it's not what I wanted to do. I keep hitting the wrong button. So you can see down there where our ships are. That's the ruby spawn there. We've just come around the inside of the cave. The metal spawn, the silver nodes were there. The silver nodes were right there. We came on up, and then in this area right here, right where the bottom of that little mountain thing is there, you've got wild onions here. There's a few of them. Let's get our pig to follow us. So there's wild onions there. Right over in this area, if you come back a little ways, there's peppers. Wild peppers are right there. Not chilies, but wild peppers. And I want to say there was more than 2. Maybe not. I thought there were more than 2. Yeah, here we go. They're on up in here. You'd have to clear this out quite a bit to get all of them, I think. There's some more right there. So there are a few pepper bushes up there. There's some more. I thought there were more than 2. So wild peppers are in there. If you come on through these trees to where it clears up again, and I think we're going to need a bear or a giraffe or something like that. But you can see these little things here that look like little wheat stalks. You can't actually get it with that. You can't actually get it with your hand. But if you bring a giraffe or a bear or whatever, this is wheatgrass. And you can actually get... I hear a pig squealing. Is that our pig? No, that's a pig down there fighting a spider. So you can actually get wheat seeds from here too. You need wheat to tame elephants. Oh no, the pig gets it. I'm sorry. The pig will get the wheatgrass and the wheat seeds. I didn't know a pig would get it. Well, learned something new today. And I am over encumbering the pig. What have I got? We don't need all this meat. We don't need all this. Don't need that. Definitely don't need the rocks or the wood. Oh, I hear a spider. Get on the pig. Oh, is that a rabbit? Does a rabbit sound like? I thought I heard a spider, but I guess it was a rabbit. Let's see if we can take this spider out. Get out of here, you stupid spider. So, we've covered the ruby spawn, which is on that pillar right in front of us. We've covered the sap trees. We've covered the silver nodes. We've covered the wild vegetables that I know is on this island. Are you after me, you dumb pig? That's what you get. We've covered the onions and the peppers that I know are on this island. If you keep going on down, this stuff is everywhere, so I don't know if I really need to show you this, but I'll show you why I'm here. See, here's the wild onions. Keep going on down around past the wild onions, and I want to say you got to get on around the point. And now we're where we had our base set up. So right here, this is oregano, and if you keep coming on around the point till it kind of turns back and starts going away. Right in this first clump of trees, there's more oregano and there's mint. See this small green stuff on the ground here is mint. There's more mint than you'll be able to shake a stick at. So we've covered the mint, the oregano. There's blackberries, shashandra. I don't think there's but 2 kinds of berries on this island, the blackberries and the shashandra. The wild onions are down here. The wild peppers, showed you the wheatgrass, where you can get wheat seeds from. There's all kinds of shashandra up in here. These bushes right there. I guess that's how you say it, shashandra. So, sap trees, rubies, silver, onions, peppers, mint, oregano. I don't think there's anything else unique to this island. The fiber on this island is hemp. The thatch on this island is rushes. And the wood on this island, I want to say, let me get back off the pig. I want to say the wood is softwood. It's softwood. So softwood, rushes, hemp, and then all your other resources. So I hope that helps, and I plan on going to every single island. If there's a particular island that you're wondering about, let me know down in the comments of the videos. I'll go straight to that island, do that island. I'll spend the time running around finding all the resources so you don't have to. And hopefully that'll help you guys out on the Atlas. I know the grind is real over on official. I played official for 6 months probably, and the grind is real. Even with the ×2 weekends, the special events they have, sometimes it is still a grind. I remember they had a charity thing one weekend where I think it got up to 8 times harvesting, XP, a couple other things, and I built a galleon by myself in about 8 hours. But normally you can't build a galleon that fast by yourself. With a company, it probably doesn't take as long, but by yourself it takes quite a while. I think it took me a week and a half to build the very first one, and even that one was not by myself. Blizzard helped gather resources, and maybe there's a couple other people that helped gather some resources. But I can't do the grind anymore. I can't deal with the lag on some of the regions. It's just too much. So I hope that helps. I hope this series is going to help you guys. And just like always, we're going to end it by dancing. That's one thing that's not going to change. Always like doing that. Always like picking some music out for it. I think it just adds a little bit to the end of the video rather than me just talking and saying thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope you enjoy this series. Like I said, I hope it's going to help everybody out there when they roll up on an island in their region, knowing where the resources are. Or when you get into those upper tier blueprints where you got to have 2, 3, 4, and 5 different types of resources, this will help you go straight to an island. Nowhere on that island you got to go get those resources. If you're looking for specific seeds or anything like that, you know exactly which island you've got to go to. Hopefully I can get through this pretty quick and get some of the regions. But like I say, if there's a specific region and specific island you're wanting to know about, let me know down in the comments. I'll get straight to that island. And until then, I'll see you out on the high seas. Thanks everybody for watching.